Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Ellen, and I'm here with Michelle today, and I'm going to introduce you to her in just a moment. But really quick, I'm Ellen, and in case you haven't watched our Why Tupperware, Why Now, this is where I just kind of reach out and talk to people that are in our sales force just about, why they chose Tupperware. Because maybe you might relate to something that they're saying. But before I get started, I'll tell you just a little bit about me. I've been in Tupperware about 14 years, and it has been such a huge blessing to our family in so many ways. Financially, yes, which is what my goal was when I came to Tupperware. My husband and I had a failed business, and we were trying to bounce back from that. And so we had filed for bankruptcy, and we pretty much lost everything when I had come to Tupperware. And so it was a way for us to kind of build back, right? And for me, it was almost like a personal redemption. Right? Like I felt like I needed to do something and succeed at something, and I found that in Tupperware. And I had been with two other direct sales companies before Tupperware. And I had some success, but not monetarily. I had a title, but I can't pay my gas bill with a title. So I needed the cash. And I was lucky to find that here in Tupperware. But the cool thing is yes, I came for money. Because that's where we were at the time, and I had two small children. But what I found was so much more. I found friendships. I found just true camaraderie and like a family outside of my family. And I'd never experienced that before. Growing up, I would hear people say, "Oh, I love her like a sister." And I'm like, I've got two sisters. I don't need any more sisters. My sisters are great, but I don't need any more sisters. And I can't, and I also couldn't fathom loving somebody the way I loved my sisters. And until I came to Tupperware, and I was just kind of like, oh, I get that, right? Because the people in Tupperware are the people I call first with my good news and my bad news. When it comes to those people that you lean on and those people that you celebrate the good times with. So that was an added bonus. And I think that's been an experience of a lot of people as they come into Tupperware. And funny enough, Michelle and I were just talking beforehand, and and there are a lot of people that come in and out of Tupperware, right? Because their life changes, their circumstances change, whatever it is. And we always say that Tupperware may not be for everybody, but it's for everybody to try. And I feel like I now want to even add further to that and say again, because we have so many people that come back, and I think it's that family atmosphere that really brings them back, searching for like, well, maybe let's give this another shot. I'm a different person now, or I live in a different area, or I have a different circle of friends. And so there's lots of different reasons why it can be different a second, third, and fourth time around. And I've had people that have come back to me that many times, and which is, I think, it's just very cool. So, and I am all for people just going for it and just trying new things and trying things again. And I mean, my husband and I, after our business closed, we always said hindsight's 2020, right? And there are things I've learned in Tupperware that I'm like, oh, we could have done something cool like that at the store, right? But I can't beat myself up about things I didn't know, right? And so it's kind of the same way in Tupperware too. Your first experience might be something, and then you come back again, and your second experience is very different. And then sometimes you come back again, and it's different again. So Michelle, we are so happy to have you here with us tonight. So tell us, why did you say yes to Tupperware?
Well, Tupperware has been in my family since I was a newborn, I guess. Grandma used to sell it, and I used to visit her every summer, and I'd stay there. I'm the youngest of quite a few of us, so I was kind of pushed to the side because my older brothers and sisters wanted nothing to do with me. I was that annoying, hyper little kid.
I was that too. And they just kind of were like,
yeah. So I would go spend time. Mom, dad worked, full-time jobs, and dad traveled a lot. So I'd go and stay with grandma. Grandma was selling Tupperware, and she'd have these parties. And back in the day, they get all dressed up and have the tea out. And I just thought it was just like, wow. So after that, my mom was a school teacher. So during the summers, she didn't have to work. She got into Tupperware. So I would help her set up and, whatever it was, you got to look at these bowls. Mom uses these bowls. So I was like her little mascot type.
Mascot.
So
Not helper, mascot. I like that.
yeah. So I also had friends. I used to live in Kentucky. I had friends that down where we live, there was absolutely nothing to do. So they sold Tupperware. And I was like, man, I really would like to try that. Timing wasn't right for me. So when I moved back back up to Ohio and got settled and everything, just last year, I signed up for it to give it a try. Unfortunately, a lot of things going on. We just bought a house. We were doing this, that, whatever, and it just wasn't the right time. I don't blame myself, but I think a lot of it was because of me. I wasn't, reaching out to people like I should have. So I reached out to Jenny and I was like, so what's it take to get back into Tupperware? Let me try this again. So, and I'm so glad that she's helped me get back into this because it's totally different than when I started last year. So
It is. I was just saying to somebody just today, actually it was somebody that was a past consultant, and they were saying, I just decided to sign back up. And I was like, I'm so glad you have, because there's so many tools that are like right up your alley. Like there's so many more tools now available even than a year ago. And 2 years ago, it's a completely different business. Like it really is.
yeah.
So I love that you see that as well. So
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so tell
definitely.
me, what has been your experience so far? You're kind of starting to go that direction. So your experience so far since you came back with Jenny.
This is awesome. I get let's see, as soon as I signed up, I started reaching out to people. I was like, okay, I'm going to sell Tupperware again. Who wants to help me? Will you do parties? Will you please do a party? So at first it started off, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I thought, oh no, here we go again. So, I would post things and I would go live and I'm like, come on, you guys, it's so much fun. I'm not at this time, I'm not asking you to join. I just want you to host a party and see what it's all about. So one of my really good friends I've been friends with her forever, just out of nowhere. And I didn't ask her. One of our other friends said, she wants me to host a party. And she's like, I'll do it. So I set up a party for her and it took off. The sales were just one right after another. And I was like, all right, okay. So
This is working.
it wasn't just about the sales though. I got to meet a lot of her friends. So now there's a big, a circle of us and, we talk all the time and I get text messages, do you still have, whatever it is that they're looking for. So, I mean, it really is totally different than when it was last year. So I'm having so much fun with this. And, with the different holidays come up, I try to get creative. So I talk to Jenny and I get on the chat and I'm like, hey, I got an idea to help with the sales, so helping everybody out. So
I love that. See, you're already taking a leadership role. Look at you.
I'm just having so much fun, and I can already feel myself so much happier. And it's like, all right.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's like one of those, like I said, it's that sort of family atmosphere. It does. It gives you an energy boost. And when you start seeing some success, you're just kind of like, it gets that little confidence boost. You're like, oh, well, maybe I could try this. And, there's some people that are afraid to go live. Doesn't sound like you're one of them, but some people that are afraid to go live. And so sometimes that's just kind of what they need. They need that little like confidence to be like, okay, maybe I can try going live, or maybe I can try and learn something new and all that kind of good stuff. So before I forget, anybody who's watching us, please say hello in the chat. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. If you're here as a guest, say hello in the chat and tag the person that invited you so that they know you're here. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We're going to take a look at that in just a little bit, and we will answer the questions right here live. All right. So, Michelle, Why now? Why do you think now is a good time to start Tupperware? So let's just imagine there's somebody watching, right? And they're just like, I don't know, maybe I'll wait until the end of the school year, or maybe I'll wait till this time next year, right? So why do you think now is the best time to go ahead and get started?
Well, why not? I mean, I mean, I guess, if I know a lot of people that are like that, I think I'm going to wait. I'll wait. And then they keep putting it off. And what I say is, well, what's holding you back? Why don't you want to do it like right now? And, I have an answer for everything. So it's, well,
I like that a lot.
I have small kids. Okay. Do they take naps? Well, yeah. Well, there's your time to do it. Well, I got this and this and this. I'm like, do it in between. I mean, this isn't you're at home, or, wherever you are, you can do this anywhere. Like I said, unfortunately, I have health problems. So I think it was last week I was in the hospital, and I'm like, took a selfie. I'm like, I'm even in the hospital doing this. Got new customers. So some of the nurses are my new customers. So why not now? I mean, give it a try. And if it really isn't a good time for you, then you'll know pretty quick, but at least you tried it. And then
Right.
I know you'll come back. So
Just like Michelle
I
did.
know you will.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And we have had some of our leaders, some of our top leaders actually have built a business from beside a hospital bed. And because they were caregivers of people that were very sick in their lives, and they sat there on their phones doing Facebook
Yep.
parties, collecting orders, and it gave them that connection. It gave them that because when you're in that sort of situation, whether you're the one in the hospital or if you're caring for somebody that's in a hospital, you start to like lose touch with reality, kind of, right? Because you're like in
Mhm.
this bubble and you're just like, oh, like, and so it kind of takes you out of that. It takes you out of that and allows you to just kind of be like, okay, the real world's still going on and I'm going to get back to it. I'm just on pause right now. And so it
Right.
gives you that outlet. So absolutely. I love that, Michelle. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. A question that people commonly ask is, how much time does it take? And I love Michelle's response to people that say, oh, I have small children, and they're like, do they nap? Right? Because my kids were 2 and 3 when I got started. And yes, that was the napping ages. Actually, the 2-year-old wouldn't nap, but the 3-year-old would nap. The 2-year-old was always the one who never wanted to nap. And so, but I would set myself up for success so that I would be able, as they're kind of like winding down, getting ready for nap and going to the bathroom and doing all the things they need to do before nap time, I would be setting up my list of people that I wanted to reach out to. And this was before Facebook. This was before smartphones. This was my house phone beside a paper list of people to call to see if they wanted to date parties or whatever. And so I used to just set everything up. So the second I got them down, I would come out and I would start making my phone calls. I'd call my team members and I'd call parties and things like that. So, and I also knew somebody who was on my team and she worked full time. And then she had a child that was very sick and kind of in and out of hospital and things like that. And so she would take her lunch break and she worked at an RV dealership and she would hide in one of the RVs and make phone calls. So we always say when you have a will, we can find a way, we can get super creative with that. And so when people ask how much time does it take, it's kind of based on what your goals are and how much time do you want and have to put into it, right? And so in this virtual world, you can have a pretty big impact on really small amount of time, because it's not like you have to necessarily, like, if you want to build a home party business in the home, that takes a little bit more time, but not much, honestly. You're just out of the house more. So if that's your goal, we got that for you too. So now that people are starting to do home parties again, which is really exciting. So lots of different options. Another question that everybody asks is, how much money can I make? And I tell people, like, it again, that's your goal. If your goal is to make a couple extra $100, we can absolutely do that. We can map that out and give you different routes to get to that couple $100. If your goal is to make $1,000, again, it is very doable. Even just working 2 parties a week, you can make $1,000 a month or more. And if your goal is more than that, then we will set up the steps to help you get to whatever that goal is. When I got started, my goal is to make $3,000 a month as soon as possible. And right around my 6-month mark, maybe even before that, I started pretty consistently making that. The majority of it was my commissions. And then I started getting bonuses on my team, so because I was building a team. And so that was huge to me. I mean, that's I'm not sure there's a family out there. I don't care how much money you have coming in anyways that wouldn't turn away an extra $3,000 a month. I mean, for real, that's life changing for some people. It was life changing for us because we were barely. I mean, actually, no, I can't even say we were barely getting by. We weren't getting by. We were behind in our mortgage. We weren't even making enough money to like actually put food on the table. My in-laws were bringing us food. I mean, we were in a bad spot, and all the money I made went to gas because gas prices were just as high as they are right now. And so it was not easy. So, but Tupperware, and also you talk about the fun. I was in this place of financial stress, right? And I'm always just like stressed out about like what I'm putting my kids through and what we're dealing with and the stress on the marriage and all that stuff. And Tupperware was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, wow, this is something I'm actually realizing I might be kind of good at. And it just gave me that confidence. Like, I can do this. I can help my family get out of this mess. And that was huge. And so the last question that a lot of times people ask is there training available? So Michelle, is there training available for you?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, there is so much training. I mean, it's endless. It really is. It's, there's videos and there's so many people. I mean, you ask a question on the chat and 5 seconds later there's somebody answering and they're there right there with you, walking you through things. But yeah,
absolutely. The cool thing is so we have a Facebook group that is a company group. Our company is called Champion Enterprises, and we're run by Pam and Jim Clift, and they're based out of the Northeast Ohio area. But we're a national company. So if you're watching this and you're in Florida or you're in Wyoming or wherever you are, we have support for you too. So we have live meetings. So if you like to tune in live and you like that interaction, we have meetings for you because you can chat away in the chat as we're live. But we also have, if live meetings, that's not something you're into, I like both. Like, I like live meetings because it makes me feel connected, right? Because I'm talking with people and we're joking around and all that, right? About what we're watching or what we're seeing. But I also like to watch things on demand. I like to be able to blow through training because I'll speed it up. so I can listen to double the amount of training in the same amount of time. And so I like both. And a lot of times I go back and I rewatch things that I watched live just because there was something I didn't quite get. And I always hear something different. I usually listen to trainings multiple times. But that's just me. That's just kind of how I am. But we have on-demand training. So you can go to our YouTube channel and just like binge watch if you want. You can watch recordings of trainings if you work in the evenings when we have our trainings. You can tap into that. And then Tupperware itself in our back office has awesome step-by-step training, little mini videos that are, some of them are like 3 minutes long, 5 minutes long, how to do everything you need to know to place your orders, to find things on the website, to set up your website, your Tupperware website, like all those things. It's awesome. And that is newer. That's very new. I mean, that's just been in the last year that we had that brought in, and it's been a game changer, honestly, to have those type of tools. And the other thing that's really cool is Now in Tupperware, for anybody that's watching that's been in Tupperware before, now in Tupperware, when you join, it doesn't matter what, if you join for the $15 or the $119, right? It doesn't matter what you join, what level you join at. The commission's the same, your bonuses are the same, everything like that is the same. The only thing that's different is with the 119, you're getting Tupperware up front. So you're getting a box of Tupperware, a big variety of stuff, right? And it's a great deal. That's awesome. But even for the $15, everyone gets a free shopping website. So up until like a year or two ago, you had to pay for a website in order to market your business online. You had to pay a monthly fee for a website, and now that's included. That is huge to me, absolutely huge. Now you can upgrade your website, and the only, like, one of the things that you can upgrade for your website is you can actually get a marketing program that has graphics and all this stuff that you can schedule and put on Facebook and do all that stuff, which is great. But you don't have to have it, right? We have the graphics out there. You can search up graphics. There are groups you can join with lots of graphics. If you're a graphic designer, you like to make your own graphics, you can do that. I just learned how to do that in the last 2 years. So before that, I did fine without knowing how to do that, and you can too, And so you don't have to use that marketing program, but it is available for a very small monthly fee. And so I tell people, I'm like, so if you have more time than you have money, then don't do it, right? Find the graphics, do it on your own, right? You can absolutely do that. If you have more money than you have time, it might be worth it to have a stock of graphics that you don't have to make yourself. So that being said, Michelle, is there anything else that you would like to add this evening?
I just wanted to, for the ones that are just starting out and stuff, be patient. Keep on trying, be consistent. You need help with anything, I mean, you reach out to me. I don't know it all. I mean, I just started to. There's so much stuff I still have to learn, but I can at least try to help you. There's so much support in this company that like you, Ellen, you said that you did other businesses, and I did too, and you can't compare.
No, you can't.
Some of them, the people were, yeah, we're all supportive, and no, they weren't. And here, so when you hear, I guess if you experience that, and then hear, no, everybody's here for you, you're kind of thinking, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. That's what we all say.
It really is this way. Everybody's just awesome. And, I think after I got off here, I got to talk to one of my friends. I'm going to be like, come on, join. But,
yeah.
I mean, it just, for the ones that are just starting out like me, just give it time. If you're not getting anything right now, just give it time. It's going to happen.
That's really good advice. Really good advice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Michelle. And thank you everybody for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, get back to the person that invited you to this. And you can get your questions answered. And we hope that you join us, and we hope that we see you at one of our meetings real soon. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.